Hey there, sheepdoggers, and welcome to a new game. It's a browser game, so I'm capturing the window and all that kind of thing. And it's called Town of Salem, and I've had so much fun with it last night and this morning. It's been absolutely awesome, and yeah, it's if you know games like Mafia and I think it might be called Murder. I think there's one called Murder, and those kind of like forum games that people play, and I think there's a kind of in real life everyone sits around and you can play it like that as well. This is like that. You can see down here what it looks like, and basically what happens is everyone gets a role. I'll go over roles in a second, but basically what happens is you're all together and you get different roles. You have to do different things. Certain people have to kill everyone. Other people can investigate or protect or whatever, anything along those lines. And it's fairly quick. The games aren't that long usually, but sometimes they can last a while. And it's just a whole load of fun basically. And yeah, I was put onto this. Someone sent me an email. I think it was Hepty sent me an email. If it wasn't Hepty, I do apologise. I don't know whether you want me to say your name out or not, but yeah. And I've been playing it since, and I've been really enjoying it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the roles, and talk about them a little bit, and then I'll talk about the game and like how the roles work and everything, and maybe we'll get a game in as well. I think it's probably worth getting a game in. So the roles are you got the town, you got Mafia, and then you got kind of like neutral people who work for themselves. In the town you've got like Town Protective. I've got a list of them over here, so I'm not going to be looking at the camera. I'm going to be looking at the list. So you've got Town Protective, you've got Bodyguard and Doctor. The Bodyguard can protect one person a night and kills anyone who kind of visits them, whether it's to kill them or to do something else. Anyone who visits them dies. Then you've got the Doctor, who heals one person a night, which means if someone tries to kill that person, then they die. Sorry. If someone tries to kill the person who the Doctor's healing, they don't die, and they'll be told that they were attacked and that they were healed, and that's kind of another clue basically. Town Support, you've got the Mayor, who can reveal himself and get 3 votes at the kind of end of the night. Everyone comes out, it shows you who's been killed and what's, people can say what's happened, and then you can vote for someone to be lynched basically. If you think someone's, like, for example, a member of the Mafia, you can vote for them to get lynched, and you don't know until it's over, but yeah. Then you've got an escort who can distract someone each night, so basically block them from performing their role. If, for example, it was a bodyguard, you could stop the bodyguard from protecting someone. Although, they're both town, they wouldn't want to, but you don't know anyone's roles. Medium can speak with the dead, so anyone who's been killed can speak to the medium, and the medium can come out after the night time and tell people what the dead have said, which is actually quite fun. The Retributionist can resurrect someone. You don't see that often. Over here, you've got Classic and Custom, access to all roles, smaller variety of roles and less random roles. You don't really see the Retributionist that often. I've seen it a couple of times in a good 30 games or so. You've got the Transporter, can transport 2 people, basically take them away so they don't get killed. Again, you don't see that one very often in the classic games, which is the one I'd suggest you start off with. Then you got the Investigator townspeople. The Investigator can investigate one person a night for suspicious activity, and it kind of gives you a few roles that they might be, and is one of the most important roles to find out, for example, the serial killer and the mafia. For example, with the serial killer, it will say works with knives, either doctor or serial killer, and that can, you know, if the investigator investigates you and you're the serial killer, you're more than likely screwed. Unless you try and play it off that you're the Jester, and, you know, no one else will know whether the guy is telling the truth or not until he's dead. So if an investigator says, you know, you're a serial killer, and you are, the last thing you want to do is kill him, because then it will be proven that he's an investigator and you're next on the chopping block. Sheriff can check one person each night for suspicious activity. Basically, if the sheriff investigates you and you're the serial killer, it will outright tell him that you're the serial killer. And if you're part of the Mafia, unless you're a Godfather, if you're a Godfather, you're safe. But if you're any other part of the Mafia, it will tell him, the sheriff as well, if you are indeed evil. Spy can listen in on the Mafia. The Mafia can whisper to each other at night. Yeah, the Mafia can whisper to each other at night, and basically the spy can hear that, and he can gather information. So as the Mafia, the spy's not very regular in Classic. You barely ever see him, very occasionally. But as the spy, you want to be compiling your your reports on what they're saying. And as the Mafia, you don't want to use names, just in case. And Lookout can watch someone at night to see all who visit them. So if a lookout is looking at, for example, a sheriff, I guess, and people go to visit him, it will tell them that night everyone who visited him. So if he gets killed by a serial killer and you're the only person who goes there, then the Lookout will go, well, that's the serial killer. There's a certain amount of deception needed, and you need, especially if you're evil, you need to play on the town's fears. Town killing. You've got the jailer, who can basically, during the day, up here-ish, kind of about here in the top, it will have like a yellow sun. For example, if you're the mayor and you want to reveal yourself, you have to hit that sun up there. If you're the jailer and you want to jail someone, you have to hit that sun and choose who during the day, and then basically you jail them at night and no one can get to them, and you can talk to them, interrogate them. If you think they're evil, you can even execute them. I think you get 3 executes in total. And then you've got the veteran, who basically can't do much except for be on alert. So if you're on alert when someone visits you, much like the bodyguard protecting someone else, you will kill them. So for example, if the lookout comes to inspect you, or the sheriff or whoever, you'll still kill them, even though they're good and you're good. You know, they're both from the town, in the kind of town faction. You'll still kill them. So it's an interesting one. You've got to kind of really decide there when to go on alert, and it's all every time you think to yourself, oh, I won't go on alert this time because I'm probably safe, that's when you die. And the vigilante, who can choose to take justice into your own hands and shoot someone. Basically, with the vigilante, you can shoot anyone, but if they're part of the town, then you're done. You're dead. You'll commit suicide the next night, I believe, or the same night. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, you'll commit suicide, and that'll be that. So that's all of the towns. The town's quite fun, because you really have to try and start figuring out who's lying and who's, you know, because it is online and with random people, it can be very very chaotic. Sometimes you get a whole load of great people in and they all play really well and it's really fun, and sometimes they just kind of, you know, just dick about, and yeah, so there's a certain amount of luck involved with the town you get. So we'll go on to Mafia. You've got the blackmailer. Choose one person each night to blackmail. They will not be able to speak at all the following morning. The blackmailer has never appeared for me in Classic. I don't think he can, so you'll have to play custom to get that one. I don't know much about him, but I would imagine I would imagine that, you know, they're really they're really kind of there to stop if you get investigated. If you think you're getting investigated or something, you know, you wanna shut up, like the sheriff, especially, maybe the lookout, anyone like that, or even possibly the medium. If you've just killed, you know, someone who knew about you, then shutting up the medium can be helpful because that person will otherwise tell everyone. Then you've got the Consigliere. Check one person for their exact role each night, which again doesn't appear in the classic. That's very useful, probably, to reveal which people it's very important for you to kill, especially in a more organized game. Consort, distract someone each night. So basically exactly the same as the escort, except for the consort works for the Mafia. The Mafia deception, you've got disguiser, choose to disguise yourself as a target. So, you know, again, you don't get that in classic. The janitor, choose a person to clean each night. I'm not exactly sure what that means. It doesn't go into much detail, but I would assume you can clean the house of the mafioso, so it doesn't seem like he's a mafioso, and he just seems kind of random. And the framer, who is in classic. All those other ones aren't in classic, but the framer is in classic, and you can choose one person to frame each night. So if the investigator or the sheriff go to this person's house, they will seem guilty. And that's a very useful one. People don't tend to like doing it because it's the random nature, especially at the beginning, means that you know often your job doesn't mean much. But I think it's quite a fun one, especially when you manage to, you know, work in concert with the other mafias who are just coming and who are also in the classic, and make it seem like so and so is guilty. So Mafia killing, these two are in the classic. They're the other two. You get 3 Mafia roles in the classic, and they're always there, and they're always trying to kill everyone else. You've got the Godfather, who can kill someone each night, and basically he's in charge. If the sheriff investigates him, he seems like a normal person. He doesn't seem suspicious. And the mafioso carries out the Godfather's orders. So the mafioso is basically a killer, and if the Godfather doesn't specify a target, the mafioso can just kill whoever he wants. If the Godfather says go for this person, the mafioso goes and kills that person. If the Godfather dies, the mafioso is promoted to the Godfather role. And with the framer, if both other mafia guys die, then he's promoted to the mafioso. So yeah, the Mafia is very much you should be working together. You should be trying to suss out targets. You should also be careful of talking with names because of the spy. But it's a very interesting one to have. Quite often people don't enjoy being the framer, so you may lose someone early on, especially with randoms. But it's very, very fun being the Mafia. And there have been a few really, really good. There was one that I played earlier where I was the Godfather and we lost our framer. Well, no, I was the mafioso. The Godfather like disconnected and left. So I got promoted, and then I had my framer with me. So I was going off and killing everyone, and my framer was trying to frame people. And there was a bit where someone said that guy is. That guy, no one suspected me, but they suspected the framer of being Mafia. And someone said that guy's a framer. No, that guy's a Mafia. And everyone else goes to him, "What's your role?" And he goes, "I'm a framer." And I go, "Oh." I did like a little, "Oh lol, this guy's clearly a jester." We'll get onto jesters in a second. But I basically made everyone think that he wasn't in the Mafia, and they were like, "Oh, how silly!" And they actually ended up hanging the guy who they actually ended up hanging the guy who was accusing him. They all thought he was Mafia. We didn't win, but it was a very, very fun game. And then you go on to the neutral ones, who they're kind of a bit more I don't know, they're a bit more free roles, and they can be quite fun to play. The Amnesiac, remember who you were by selecting a role in the graveyard. Basically, I think if someone dies, you know, whenever people die, you can suddenly go, okay, I want that role. Which is an interesting one. I've never seen it in the classic, so I think it's not an option. Possibly is an option, because you never know what people's roles are, so yeah, there might be people Amnesiac. Survivor puts on a bulletproof vest at night, protecting yourself from attacks, which means basically you can't get killed during the night from these attacks. I'm not sure how many uses it has, but yeah, again, it's not that prevalent. You don't often get it in the classic, but I have seen it a couple of times. Neutral evil, you have the witch, who I've never seen. I don't think the witch is available in the classic. And the witch can control someone each night. I assume that means control and send them to kill people, which makes it probably a very hard one to catch. You've got the executioner, who has the objective basically of lynching someone. The executioner will have a random target, a townie or a mafia maybe, and their job is to trick the town into lynching them, not getting them killed, just lynching them. And actually, I was playing with Cue Ball earlier, and he was the executioner. He managed to get his target lynched, and actually survived to the end of the game with the Mafia, I believe it was, and won, which was really impressive because it's bloody hard to do. You know, kind of tricking people into lynching someone. And then you've got the Jester, which a lot of people don't enjoy, but I think is a really, really great role. And he's neutral evil as well. Basically, his job, you have to trick the town into lynching you. So you have to pretend to be evil while at the same time not being obvious about it. You know, a lot of people go, I'm the serial killer, we'll get to the serial killer. Or, you know, I'm part of the Mafia, and people go, well, that's a Jester. You know, and just ignore him. Or, like, they're too obvious. They start accusing people straight away. You got to play a slightly slower game. You might be killed, but as a Jester, if you play a slower game, you can really trick people into lynching you. And when they lynch you, you win the game. You win your part of the game, obviously, but you also get to kill one person who voted you guilty, who lynched you that night. So your ghost comes back and kills them. And I was actually playing a game where I was the Jester, and it got down to the last few. And I'd been putting my name out there, you know, kind of accusing a couple of people and making people a little bit suspicious of me. And then we had like a veteran and the serial killer and like the sheriff. Or not the sheriff maybe, but we had one other person who was from the town. And the veteran asked me what role I am, and I go, I'm the veteran. And he goes, no, you're not. I am guilty. And they just hung me, and I managed. I felt like being nice, so I killed the serial killer. But it was a really fun game because just as you know, when you go on trial, it says things like. It says things like, you know, you get to put up a defense, and I was saying, I'm not the serial killer, I swear, you know, I was like really protesting my innocence. And then, you know, when everyone voted guilty, you've got your last words, and I said something along the lines of, you know, see you later, suckers, you're all gonna, you know, you're screwed tonight, kind of thing. and they went, oh crap, he's the Jester, and then I died, and you know. So yeah, that was really, really fun. And the thing is with all these roles, if you play them properly, if you kind of add a little bit of RP into it, it can be so much fun. You know, as the Mafia, if you're the mafioso, you can actually leave a note, or a death note, you know, when you kill someone, saying like, you know, screw you or whatever you want. And sometimes, you know, you get assholes who are racist and etc. And if I'm like a serial killer, I'll try and kill people who have inappropriate names and stuff at the beginning, just because. And then you've got the neutral killers, who are the Arsonist. Douse someone in gasoline and ignite all doused targets. I've never seen the Arsonist. I don't think you can get it in the classic, so I don't know much about it, I'm afraid. I can't really give any tips or any thoughts on that. The Stalker is stalk someone each night. I don't know how that works either. It's not in classic. I haven't played it yet, and I haven't got, you know, I don't know anything about it aside from that. And then you got the last one, the serial killer, who works by himself. You know, there's always a serial killer in classic, and quite often, you know, if he's not very good, he'll give himself away early, or if he's unlucky. I'll get to that in a second. And basically, you kill someone each night. Your objective is to kill everyone, basically. And what you want to do as a serial killer is, well, you want to kill the important roles early. You need to get lucky, maybe. You know, kill the sheriff. Kill the lookout. These ones are important to kill. Also, the doctor is quite a good one to kill early. So it's very much based on luck. As time goes on, it gets more and more kind of it gets more and more skill based and a matter of deception. You know, if you can trick people into casting, if you get caught, you know, sometimes you're screwed, and sometimes you can cast enough doubt on it that, you know, that people just go, oh, maybe he's not, and then they look at other people and you make sure they forget about you. There was one where I was a serial killer where I got found out by the by I think it was a sheriff, maybe, and I denied it and they weren't entirely certain because it was quite early. And then there was one person who was like saying that the sheriff was the evil one. So instead of killing the sheriff, because if I killed the sheriff, it would be revealed that he's the sheriff. I'm obviously the serial killer. Instead of killing the sheriff, I killed the guy who was saying, you know, the sheriff's actually the evil one. And then he turned out to be a fairly, I think he was a lookout or something. And then they hung the sheriff. Unfortunately, after they hung the sheriff, it was very. I was trying to not get the sheriff hung, but they hung him anyway. And they were like, oh, okay, so it's clearly him. But yeah, there was one instance where I was the sheriff. And when you're the sheriff, if you investigate someone and they're the serial killer, it actually says this person is the serial killer. You know, there's no question about it. And myself and Cubal were playing this earlier, and he was the serial killer, and I was trying to guess who he was, because when you go in, you can give yourself a random name. And I went in and I saw a character and I was like, that could be Cubal. So I went to investigate him, and it said, this is the serial killer. And it was Cubal. Unfortunately for him, my first investigation gave me the serial killer, and I just railed away. Luckily, basically, he cast enough doubt on it in the first turn that he wasn't hung, and he wasn't stupid enough to kill me. Unfortunately, I knew that he was a serial killer, and I managed to convince a jailer to jail him and kill him. So. Okay, that's my answer machine. Good timing, answer machine. And yeah, basically, that's what happened. You know, he, the jailer jailed him and killed him, and it was very unfortunate for him. But yeah, that's basically the game. Hey there, sheepdoggers, and welcome to the Town of Salem. We're gonna go straight in and play because You know, and one thing I want to say is there may be quite a lot of offensive names and talk and all that crap. You know, it's. I mean, I know I swear a lot and everything, but this is like racism and just, you know, quite a lot of people who play this are idiots. You know, are kind of playing it up, just in general. Okay, so we're going in and we're going to start. So I'm going to go with my standard names. I don't know why this came in, but I go with Morris Dancer most of the time when I'm just kind of playing myself. I do a whole load of other ones, but Morris Dancer for some reason makes me chuckle. So there you go. And yeah, we'll play this. We'll play a round. You'll get to see how we do. I'll probably title it, you know, like something to do with my role, so you guys know what's. I'll try to have all of them, at least in the description. I'll put what my role is. I'll say, you know, I do a round as the Jester or as whatever. So any second now, we will find out what our name is. I am the investigator. Ooh. This should be quite a fun round. Oh, someone left, apparently. So, yeah, up here, where you can't see over behind, we've got the graveyard and my name, which is what you can't see. And then we've also got the music, the chat log, so you can see everyone, you can see what happens, and you can go back up and see what's happened. Then you got the last will. I just put Sheepdog Gaming in there in case, you know, because now I'm going to be recording and everything, in case people want to. Oh, okay. Sadist. So investigate sadist. Let's go back up here. Do I have enough time? Probably. Investigate. Night 1. Sadist. There we go. If I die early, I'll keep it going so that you guys can see how the rounds play out and everything. And I'll talk about... Oh, for fuck's sake. I was killed by the Mafia. So there you see, killed by a member of the Mafia. Morris Dancer went down. I wonder why you went after me. There you go. Sometimes that happens. Considering the early nature of my death, no, you know what? We'll let it run and we'll see how everyone does. So down goes Morris Dancer, and now they'll talk about what happened. Hopefully they won't random anyone, because that's silly. So Batum saying everyone must die. He's probably a Jester. Yeah, see, Horizon knows what's going on. Use your bombs. They should die. Hodor. There'll be a lot, like, the Jesters will be trying to get themselves killed. You don't do that early on, it's a terrible move. So Batum will probably be dying tonight. You know, he's an easy target. Everyone, if they know he's a Jester, they just go after him. Because he's an easy target. And then... I'm the crazed... Yeah. And you can also whisper by doing /W space their name, and then you whisper. And you get... there's a few famous YouTubers who do this. I don't know why they're going against Spoon. There is absolutely no reason to go against Spoon, as far as I can tell. Sentio said 14. It was pure pressure. Pure pressure. Peer pressure. So there's my dead body. That's fun. Oh, Magical Dog was an executioner. So Spoon. You do occasionally get people in chat who actually work together, regardless of regardless of anything else. Wait, who was Sadist. Yeah, sadist is either the doctor or the serial killer. We found that out. And shit. See, in this early stage, you don't want to do this because this guy could be a jester, which means that if you vote guilty, they can kill you. If you abstain or if you say innocent, they can't kill you. It's only if you say guilty. Oh, jailer dead. Well done. So there you go. You see, this is what can happen. You know, one person. See if the medium's here. So sadist is either the serial killer or the doctor. So if he asks sadist what his role is, and he says, if you're the doctor, you don't really want to say you're the doctor. I don't know. So Wishy was killed, Batum was killed. That's not a great start. I can't believe as the investigator, I died the first time. And then, you know, you get people like this who are just kind of, you know, they play the game, but they're kind of they're like the kid at school who wants all the attention, and they're just like, you know, kind of thing. I, the jester, hang me now. I'm the jester. Watch out while doing it. Well, you're not the jester. You were in the Mafia. Nod at the bird and people die. Oh, dearie me. No. Oh, Batum was a jester. I thought he was in the Mafia. Okay. Well, yeah, there you see, as I said, you know, Batum was going to die because he's was a jester. And everyone knew it. It's too quiet. Oh, I hope that one of no, we haven't had the medium. I think sadist is the SK, probably. What they should do is if there was a sheriff. If you're the sheriff, he should have invested Sentio for that lynching, because Sentio is the one who. Yeah, see, the thing is, like, it doesn't mean that he's evil. It's just a bit suspicious. So the best thing to do would be to have, you know, if the sheriff was clever, he would have investigated him, and would have found out. Probably. Unless he was the Godfather. It isn't me, go ahead. That's you know, that's not the best defense. If you're innocent, you tend to say your role and you go Hodor investigated him. Interesting. Oh, he isn't bad. Oh, Hodor, what the crap? What's with that? Oh, it's a K. Poor Sentio. Man, Hodor should have said that much earlier. That's bad. If Hodor's actually... Oh, damn, he's a serial killer. That is interesting. Send. Send. Okay, never mind. What? I don't know why it won't send. Oh well. Maybe the medium was blocked. Maybe there's a bug. I don't really need to talk to them though. So. Okay, this is worrying. Has the game crashed for me? That's going to be a real shame. I think maybe it has. Okay. That's a little, yeah, we'll do it like that. I'm just trying to think about where I could put it. No, I can't really put it there. Bottom right, possibly, but again, yeah, it looks like it's, okay, it looks like it's, so, I'll cut out here. I think I'll leave it at this. That will be the, it's not really satisfying, is it, though? We want to kind of get through one. I'll tell you what, that will be the end of the video. I'll put this all together. I've changed my mind. I'm putting it all together. And yeah, there you go. So I'll be doing more videos of this. I will be streaming this tonight, probably before this video goes out, but I may still be streaming it. So thanks for watching, guys. This is all going to be one video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll do more Salem, do not worry.